At the end of the day, the bills were mine alone, the budget was mine alone, and the bed was mine alone. My rubric for what faithfulness was, in theory, was almost always just tested by me and me alone. Faithfulness to this day, these finances, this bill, this housemate, this home, this car and its maintenance, and more, and everything. My fidelity was to God, yes, but on earth my fidelity was pledged to no one person forever. The church might teach about covenant relationships and friendships, but most of the time these lessons are taught by those who are married, who have a construct for earthly covenant that informs how they understand it broadly. An unmarried person understands covenant in entirely different ways. It took me a long time to learn that the way I understand covenant was not lesser, but in some ways better. That in my faithful singleness, I had something to offer those trying to be faithfully married. That at the end of the day, our faithfulness isn't to our individual attachments, but wholly to God, and therefore, truly faithful singleness looks very much the same as faithful marriage. It means being chaste and pure, servant-hearted and communal, attentive to the needs of others, having courage in relationships, producing the fruit of the Spirit in our home with whoever we live with, roommates, spouses, children, or parents. Melissa Zaldivar gets this. Every person who knows Melissa has seen her wrestling with these elements during her years as an unmarried person. Melissa has been a faithful single because she is a faithful person. She shows up for her community, she prays for her friends, she helps where there is need, she is patient with the old and young, she is kind without discrimination, and so much more. She is an example to me still, now as a married person, of what faithfulness to Jesus looks like in a community. I honestly cannot think of very many people I'd trust to write this book. A book I wish had existed in my years of singleness, and I am very happy to offer the foreword on it. Get Over Here is a book about what it means to be a Christ-following human, written by an unmarried person with a unique vantage point. A vantage point that the church very much needs to hear more from. It is a book about how to love one another instead of othering those who are in different seasons of life. Melissa offers practical advice for those who are unmarried in the church, but also counsel for the ones who love the unmarried ones in their church. More than that, though, she offers that universal cry of "me too" for the ones who are still sleeping alone in beds they never imagined for themselves at this age or stage in their life. You will find a care-filled and careful companion in Melissa, a truly faithful person. My prayer is that as you finish this book, you have hope that you can be this kind of person and find these kinds of people in your life too.